Hello, I'm Marshall Masters, publisher of YOWUSA.com, Yowza.com. And in this program we're going to take a look at a lot of videos and images of the Planet X system that are popular on YouTube and the internet today. And we're going to look at them with an eye of determining which ones are reliable and which ones are not. And for those of you who are looking for, let's say, entertainment eye candy, well, it's not going to be your cup of tea. This program is going to be very technical in nature, and it's really intended for those who have an advanced mastery of the topic and who've come to awareness through dreams, visions, and premonitions. But if your needs change in the future, no worries. We'll leave the lights on for you. In the meantime, thanks for dropping by. And with that, for those of you in awareness, let's get into it. In this program, we're going to take a look at a lot of images and videos of the Planet X system. And we're going to sort through them to see which ones are reliable and which ones are not. But I also have a special goal with this program. It's for those of you in awareness who have come to your awareness through dreams, visions, and premonitions. I know that so many of you are isolated and alone in your knowing. And it's not a pleasant place to be. I've been there. I've felt your pain. But this is not about sharing pain. This video is about sharing hope. And I want you to feel good about your awareness, and I want you to feel empowered by how magnificent your role will become in the tribulation years ahead. The vast majority of you came into awareness through dreams, visions, and premonitions. You have seen the future, and these memories are razor sharp and indelible. Hence, there is no way to put the blinders back on, and you know it. Consequently, awareness is often accompanied by the curse of isolation, a condition where those whom you love and care for repeatedly mock you by telling you it is all nonsense, that nothing is going to happen, and that they don't want to hear about it anymore. Because you cannot submit, their own fears drive them to punish you for your awareness by forcing you into isolation, when all you really want to do is to help them in a loving way. Not only are you isolated, most of you have big hearts and little money, and of course, no help. Consequently, a frequent question I hear from you is, what's the point of being in awareness if you cannot afford bullets, beans, and bunkers? You see, the greatest threat to both our lives and our freedom is not what is coming at us, though it is certain to bring great pain and suffering. Rather, the greatest threat to both our lives and our freedom is the Luciferian agenda, as I call it, perpetuated by those who presently rule our planet. In the final segment of this program, you'll learn their agenda, how they act it out, how you can be instrumental in defeating it, and where to begin your search for safety for both you and your loved ones. To get things started, let's begin with a video that's on YouTube, very popular, and yet it is, in my mind, a clear example of the Luciferian agenda at work. What we see in this video is a handheld view showing rooftops and what appears to be a large object in the center of the screen. The handheld movement is very unsteady. Also, the sheer amount of movement is distracting by design. So, is the object of interest in this video a natural object? Yes. The question then becomes, what exactly are we looking at? So, what is the Fluters channel telling us about this video? That we need to purge ourselves. Work that one out for yourself. But what is Fluters not telling us? the exact time and date that this video was captured. So what we have to do is work from the channel posting date of September 5th. With that in mind, I used Starry Night Pro to display the field of view as seen from Winnipeg on September 5th, 2016. To help you, the viewer, understand this analysis, let's quickly identify its key elements. The first key element is the Sun. This is because the Planet X system is presently on the opposite side of the solar system from Earth and behind the Sun. The second key element in the Starry Night Pro analysis is the Moon. Keep in mind that the Floaters video revealed clearly distinct surface features such as those found on the Moon. The next key element is the horizon as it was seen from Winnipeg that day. What we're going to see now is how Starry Night Pro tracks the movement of the Sun and the Moon along the ecliptic from Winnipeg on September 5th. At 11 o'clock in the morning local time, the Moon is below the horizon. Then at noon, the Moon is just above the horizon, which means it is now entering the field of view, assuming there is nothing blocking out our view, which there is. However, by 1300, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, the Moon will now be clearly visible above these obstructions in the field of view. Also, the Sun is highly above by now and steadily moving out of the camera's field of view. By 1500, 3 o'clock local time in the afternoon, the Sun is completely out of the camera's field of view. However, the Moon is continuing to trail the Sun along the ecliptic as seen relative to the horizon, and is the only object in the camera's field of view. By 1700 hours local time, or 5 p.m., the Moon is at or just above where it is seen in the camera's field of view. Therefore, what the Floaters video is showing us is the Moon as it was seen from Winnipeg on September 5th, sometime between 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the afternoon. In other words, this video is a hoax. However, when we look at the voting numbers on this Floaters hoax video, the sad fact is 85% of the people who watched it believed it to be real. So, what are the 3 easy things these people could have done so as not to become the victims of a hoax? First off, Floaters did not provide the actual local date and time for when the video was captured. This was an intentional omission. This fact alone should have red flagged this video for even the most casual viewer. However, Floaters did provide the name of the city, and to be frank, you would be surprised at how many observation submissions I receive where there is no mention of the city or even a map coordinate for the observation. Another red flag was that the Sun was not in the field of view. This is because the Planet X system is in its pre-perihelion phase, which means it can only be observed at or near sunrise and sunset. Because the Floaters video was shot in the afternoon, it was impossible for the Sun to be in the camera's field of view, which was intentional. And this is the place to begin when vetting a YouTube source. In this case, Floaters describes his channel as amateur shitposting at its shittiest. In other words, he's laughing at the viewer and telling everyone straight to their face that he's an unreliable source. But others are more sophisticated with their lies, so the next step in vetting a source is the channel icon. This channel icon is clearly a photograph that dates back to the 1970s. When I see this kind of clue, 99 times out of 100, it will be a retired intelligence operative, and it's what I call an old spook trick. You see, old spooks know that pictures of themselves that are decades out of date are a lawful form of identification, even though they are useless for recognition. Therefore, the use of an outdated photograph on the Fluters channel means that it is highly probable that whoever is operating this channel is a retired alcoholic spook hamming it up for a little vodka money. So, is there anything else on this channel that demonstrates the modus operandi of a paid disinformationalist? You betcha. For that, we next need to see what Fluters has uploaded, and here we see 3 short junk videos. Obviously, these are small clips taken from other videos on the internet. Is it legal? Yes, because the short length of the clips protects them under fair use law. That brings us to the 4th upload, the Winnipeg video, which is his most recent post. With paid disinformationalists, hoax videos tend to be a first of a kind in any channel upload section. With this in mind, let's look at the 3 things you can quickly do to vet any source on YouTube. The first thing to do is to see how channel directors describe themselves and the work they are posting on YouTube. What you're looking for is someone who is genuine, honest, and who demonstrates a sense of integrity. In this case, Fluters described his channel as amateur shitposting at its shittiest. The next thing to do is to look at the channel icon and the artwork that you see at the top of the channel page. People who are serious about their YouTube channels make thoughtful choices about their channel art and how they present themselves visually. In this case, Fluters uses a picture for his icon that dates back to the 1970s. Again, an old spook trick. But like they say, old tricks are the best tricks. However, tricks aside, the real acid test of any channel is found on the uploads page. What you want to see is a pattern of credible uploads on the topic. Not one topical upload mixed in with a smattering of junk videos, as we saw with the Fluters uploads page. So given that Fluters is a paid disinformationalist operating on YouTube, what is his real agenda? Well, that is simple. It is the viral propagation of hoax videos. And here we must give the devil his due. He has been most effective. 2 days after Fluters posted his Winnipeg hoax video, it was picked up by the Dill Martin channel, and Dill ran it as the lead video in a compilation of observations videos. Fluters was so successful in propagating his viral hoax that he became Dill Martin's trusted source for amateur shitposting at its shittiest, so that you, the viewer, could purge yourself. This raises the question, if Dill Martin is promoting amateur shitposting at its shittiest, is Dill Martin a reliable source? Likewise, given that Dill Martin's description for this video begins with several Bible citations, we must therefore ask the obvious question: do shitposters who cite the Bible deserve the benefit of the doubt? So, what's my take on Dill Martin and this Fluters hoax video? For Fluters, the intent was viral propagation of a hoax. Furthermore, Dill Martin's failure to conduct any form of due diligence on this hoax suggests only one thing: that Dill Martin's agenda was traffic, because traffic equals views, subscribers, and AdSense revenue. In other words, numbers. That's all. With that in mind, you may wonder, what's Marshall's agenda? If so, that is a fair question. None of us lives forever, and eventually we all face our Creator. When that day comes for me, I want us both to know that, warts and all, I kept the faith. So what does keeping the faith mean for me? It means being in service to those who have come to awareness through dreams, visions, and premonitions. It is why in July 2010 I posted my video, Precognition and the 5 Stages of Catastrophism. Precognition. The video has always been controversial because those in total denial are always offended by how it confronts their irrational rejection. Conversely, those in stages 4 and 5 tell me this video is the best thing I've ever done. So what is that about? In stage 4, those in awareness come to accept the isolation forced upon them by their family and friends, but continue to pursue the topic. Then in the 5th and final stage, they come to see that the universe is unfolding as it should. You may wonder, how long does it take to progress through all 5 stages of awareness? Years, if not decades. I learned this fact after I founded the Knowledge Mountain Church of Perpetual Genesis in 2015. It is a non-denominational teaching church for those who have come into awareness through dreams, visions, and premonitions, and whose unauthorized questions have gotten them kicked out of more mainstream faiths and study groups than they care to remember. This is one of the reasons why a questionnaire is required when applying for membership in the church, and all applicants are asked to explain when they first came into awareness. Then we ask them to watch my 5 stages video and to tell us which stage of catastrophism they're presently in. In reading these questionnaires, we found an interesting pattern. First off, most of our applicants range in age from 45 to 70 and have modest incomes. Second, they typically became aware of the coming tribulation through dreams, visions, and premonitions during their childhood. However, what surprised us is only about half of the applicants are in stage 5, even though they have had years or decades in order to process their awareness. So let's put that into context. In this program, we're going to take a look at a lot of images and videos of the Planet X system, and we're going to sort through them to see which ones are reliable and which ones are not. But I also have a special goal with this program. It's for those of you in awareness who have come to your awareness through dreams, visions, and premonitions. I know that so many of you are isolated and alone in your knowing. Seen the future, and these memories are razor sharp and indelible. Hence, there is no way to put the blinders back on, and you know it. Consequently, awareness is often accompanied by the curse of isolation, a condition where those whom you love and care for repeatedly mock you by telling you it is all nonsense, that nothing is going to happen, and that they don't want to hear about it anymore, because you cannot submit. Their own fears drive them to punish you for your awareness by forcing you into entertainment eye candy. Well, it's not going to be your cup of tea. This program is going to be very technical in nature, and it's really intended for those who have an advanced mastery of the topic and who've come to awareness through dreams, visions, and premonitions. But if your needs change in the future, no worries. We'll leave the lights on for you. In the meantime, thanks for dropping by. And with that, for those of you in awareness, let's get into it. Hello, I'm Marshall Masters, publisher of YOWUSA.com, Yowza.com. And in this program, we're going to take a look at a lot of videos and images of the Planet X system that are popular on YouTube and the internet today. And we're going to look at them with an eye of determining which ones are reliable and which ones are not. And for those of you who are looking for, let's say, and it's not a pleasant place to be. I've been there. I've felt your pain. But this is not about sharing pain. This video is about sharing hope. And I want you to feel good about your awareness, and I want you to feel empowered by how magnificent your role will become in the tribulation years ahead. The vast majority of you came into awareness through dreams, visions, and premonitions. You have